Well, surprise, surprise, General Motors announcing a recall of nearly 8,000 Chevy Volts after a few batteries caught fire. Of course, the reason is it's only 8,000 is because hardly anybody's ever bought one of these things, and you can be sure even less are going to be bought now, and that's the problem, because us taxpayers have paid for the whole doggone thing. We are joined again by our power players. Monica, I understand you have a thesis.
My thesis is that you could get from A to B faster in a tricycle than a Volt.
That's a little harsh.
You charge this thing for 8 hours, and you get 35 miles. You're saving $5 in gas with 8 hours of this thing plugged into the wall. I don't know how energy efficient this vehicle really is.
I'm not Aria.
This is the genesis of the industry, so it has to start from somewhere. It may not be the most efficient mode of transportation.
Shouldn't it start in a lab?
Now,
why are we starting out on the floor?
Listen, it starts somewhere and it evolves like every industry.
Yeah.
This is no different.
All right, listen, Malia, do you have a thesis here? Do you have a thesis?
I don't have a thesis. I'm excited that our country is investing in getting off of our dependence on oil, and I think it's hard to buy a car when there is no electric infrastructure to be able to charge in.
So this is the way we should do it? Create a car that nobody wants to buy?
I think it's a way, and I don't know if no one wants to buy it. And I think, Mayor Bloomberg is not a stupid person, and he decided that he wanted to give it a try for police officers, which I think is a great industry to try with. They drive around a lot and spend a lot of money on gas. And, we need to find another way. We cannot keep on our dependence on oil. We need to find another way. And when you start something new, you need to change it. Nothing's ever perfect, and so I think that we need to continue to develop this technology, and I'm glad that we're trying it out.
Yeah, but Monica, Ford never got a government loan in Cyprus to start his cars. Chevy didn't. None of the other guys did.
How many times did Ford fail before he was successful?
He actually started off with an ethanol car.
He went up and running. No, come on. Every entrepreneur, every new innovation, every new industry fails and fails and fails until they succeed.
But they
it's not right out the door. Hold on a second. You don't walk out the door and you make $1 million, though. Come on.
Monica, tell us your thesis again. 30 miles doesn't cut it.
They don't use taxpayer dollars. This has to work differently. It's not the private sector. And if government wants to play venture capitalists, then we, as the constituents of this fund, have a say.
Wait, Tobin, we need to play in the space also. As American taxpayers also, we live in a country of innovation, and
just because you call it green doesn't make it green.
We need to push the envelope over here.
Do you know how much power you spend plugging in a car for 8 hours to get 35 miles? That's not very green.
This is the genesis. Again, Monica, we are starting a new industry, though. So where does the money come from?
We're going back to the Bible. This is Genesis. Now, wait a minute. All right.
We're a very religious group over here.
Final word here. When you create a product that was forced, remember, when they gave them the money, the government also said, we want you to make this car because this is going to be the future. Is that the government's job to mandate to a company we just paid that, oh, by the way, we'll give you the money, but here's what you have to build?
No, I don't endorse that at all. And I'm all for green technology, but just because you're into green technology doesn't mean you should be stupid. Let's find more efficient ways of spending our money and getting more bang for the buck.
Won't you at least tell us that maybe they brought it out a little too quickly?
No, it's very easy to say, it's to sort of to point at all the technology that actually failed, but from failure comes successes also, and they need to keep trying and trying to open up this industry,
though. But not on the taxpayers' dime.
Then from where? From where? We need to push the envelope. We need to push the envelope with younger people on the government side, with entrepreneurs, with small businesses. That's how our economy is going to change.
Get at him. One more, girl. Look at if failure is the genesis for success, to say if our Genesis name, this is going to be the most successful car in 2020 I've ever seen.
Don't fail with my dime.
Oh, listen to you. All right.
It's got to start somewhere. Tobin, it's got to start somewhere.
All right, good. All right.
Not with my dime.
With your dime. All right, we got that set. Let's go to another green agenda debacle, which is, of course, costing you green. Evidently, he doesn't pay taxes. We have a wood to ethanol factory in Georgia. Hang on, that took in more than $65 million of taxpayer dollar. That's just nothing, And of course, it went bust, and it's been sold for literally pennies on a dollar. Now, here's an interesting twist. Okay, the venture capital firm behind us, our very successful venture capitalist, is a big contributor to President Obama. Now, does that sound familiar at all? Ari, can you say Solyndra?
It does sound like round two. obviously all the money, whether it's TARP, stimulus, you're not going to bat 1,000, and that's just the landscape of reality. You know, you will not hit on every single number all the time. But the fact that they're trying and they're going back to the table and they're backing some of this initiative, I think are great.
Venture capital funds take other people's money and they invest it in 100 different things, and 10 work and 20 blow up. These guys are now like 0 for 5 with our money. That doesn't sound like venture capital to me.
Yeah, when you invest in beliefs and in your friends, you're not an investor, you're a fool. Like, let's put straight things straight. Like, we've spent $90 billion trying to get something out of green technology.
Right.
It's a very worthwhile goal, but this is not the way to get
it. All right, Malia, hang on. We cut poor Malia out. All right, Malia, you know, isn't this crony capitalism at the worst example?
I think, unfortunately, lobbyists and corporations use a lot of government money in ways that we might not like. But I also think that George Bush steered $74 million to this company.
We're not talking about George Bush.
And now I know, because you don't want to talk about where it started from. But the fact of the matter is that George Bush steered $74 million to this company, and it's failed. Now, I don't even want to say that George Bush made a mistake. I think it's important that we invest in innovation. I'm glad that we decided we wanted to invest to go to space. I think that was a great innovation. I don't think that was a waste in taxpayer dollars. And I don't think that this new industry is a waste in taxpayer dollars either. And I think that it's really short-sighted to say that the only place that we can have innovation is in corporations and in the private sector. At the end of the day, we are our government, and I don't know why we're against us innovative things.
I agree. Why are people so scared? Why are people so scared of taking certain risks? It's very easy to sit back and, sort of look at all the
guys are risk takers.
I
appreciate it. You did well here.
The Iraq War was a horrible waste of money.
All right, well done. Well done. All right, up next.